Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Ben and Isaac and I just moved the mob onto a fresh strip of Kentucky 31 fescue. There's some orchard grass in there. It's been frosted, and some red clover. I just wanted to show you, you can kind of see the line. Ben, would you, or Isaac, either one of you, stand right where the line was at? Yeah, you can see the green. You can see a little more green on the left than you can the right. This wasn't a very big paddock. There's 375 plus that baby calf we had over there. That's out of a heifer we bought. The guy didn't take the bulls out like we used to do, and anyway, we knew when we bought them that we may have one in the winter, and she did. She's doing 1,000. She's doing 1,000 with it. Calf's doing 1,000. We just got lucky. I don't like calving in the dead of winter, but we won't have to do that again. The bulls are going to be coming out. We can kind of prevent that. But I wanted to show you the residual over here. I mean, my gosh, we only gave them, well, from that pond to where Isaac's standing, and then to that woods line behind him. So there's probably 2 acres here. Wouldn't be 2 acres, probably 1.5. And we put them on here this morning, so they were on here about 8 hours, and just left a lot of good manure pats behind. But the residual, we've got a ton of residual here. So this can be cleaned up probably in 30 to 45 days, just with rain and snow, maybe a little ice on it, some cold weather, and we can graze this again. This will be grazed yet again. So we'll get 3 grazings out of this paddock this winter. Get up here a little bit closer. You can see, look at that. I mean, where the fescue's real tall. Look what it did right here. It's acting like a greenhouse. Folks, it's January 18th. It's getting down to the low 20s at night. We've had -5 below here 3 weeks ago, and I about froze to death that morning. We're in Missouri. We're not used to -5 below. But anyway, that clover survived that. It's because it had this nice greenhouse of green leaves over the top of it. So these cows are getting a big old candy bar tonight. Look at the gut on that cow. That's just a pretty cow. She's just beautiful. You notice the short legs on that cow? Those are the kind of cattle you need to keep your eyes focused on, trying to grow those type. Because those type of cows there will give you a nice calf solely on grass alone, and make you a good living on grass. This is the one everybody curses, Kentucky 31. It's got the endophyte in it, but you know, these cows aren't nubbing it off right down to the ground. They're getting the tops, and then we're going to be leaving. So far, knock on wood, we haven't had any ill effects of grazing fescue this winter. The cattle, we had one heifer that got a little bit of a limp, and it was gone in 3 days. And I'm not sure it was fescue foot, or it could have been she stepped on a thorn or something. I don't know, but these cattle are just absolutely tearing it up. Oh, and by the way, all these cows have calves sucking on them that were born, most of them this spring. We don't wean, and so they're getting just a little bit of milk. So these cows, we don't wean the calves. We let the cows wean the calves. And they still look in this kind of condition with a calf sucking on them in the wintertime on Kentucky 31, and no breeder cubes, no range cubes, no molasses tubs, nothing. Folks, you got to raise cattle that's got gut and minimal leg, and they need to look like they got a barrel for a body with little legs on them. And that's the kind of heifers that we're going to be selling this year. We gave a little spiel about those the other night, and those heifers are going to be, you know, anywhere from probably 1,000 to 1,100 pound mature cows that can do this on fescue. They're right in the fescue belt. Somebody asked me the other day, how do you keep that fescue green like that all winter long? That's just the way fescue is. It stays green, and it's the only grass that we have here in the Midwest that'll do that. And you don't have to plant it. It comes up naturally. It is a cool season grass, but you've got to learn how to manage it. And you can't take animals and continuously graze your farm and expect to have fescue January 18th. It's not going to happen. Your whole farm's going to look like a putting green. You got to move them, folks, and you got to get them tighter, like this. You know, they're on, well, there's our next fence right over there on the other side of those cattle. So in the morning, Ben and I can now roll that wire up. And these cattle aren't getting any hay, not tonight. The stockpile is so good in here. You know, if we turn them in a stockpile, it's a little bit short, or the paddock's a little bit small, we'll give them, you know, we'll unroll a bale for them or something. But you know, you get high quality forage, and you don't need to be doing that. Time I see something like this, I just reach down and pick that up. That's the compliments of our ice storm we had the other day. It busted that out of the tree. But boy, you run over that, you'll know it. But I don't know. It is an unfair advantage to have cattle that can feed themselves all winter long. I highly recommend you get yourself in that position. I had a guy email me today. He said, I'm tired of feeding these mammoth things. He said, I'm done. I'm just done. He said, the cattle business is not fun anymore. And he did his year-end statement, and his supplement bill was more than what his calf crop brought. Oh shoot. You're going to feed up all your money and all your calf crop and supplement, breeder cubes, you know, all this stuff, grain. Yeah, I would agree. It's not fun when you do that. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can make a really good living on the land, but you got to make that decision yourself. Do I want to make a living, or do I want to just have a hobby? If you want to have a hobby, go chase those big calves and those big bulls and those big cows. That's what you'll have. You'll have a nice little expensive hobby. If you want to make money in the cattle business, right here it is. You got to get bulls like that. That bull's going to mature about 1,200 pounds. That's it. He's never going to reach 2,000. That cow right behind him, she's about 1,100 pounds, but look at the gut on her. She is nothing but a chunk of meat. Big old gut. Big old gut. Holds a lot of grass. Learn to hate leg on your animals. Get animals that can eat Kentucky 31 fescue. Somebody asked me the other day, where would you start up a farm if you were just starting from scratch today? That's an easy one for me to answer. It would have to be somewhere where I could grow fescue. Well, why is that? It's what you're looking at right here. This is the most expensive time to own animals, in the wintertime when your grass is not growing. Well, guess what? We're still grazing. That is your unfair advantage. So you've got to be able to leverage those unfair advantages. Here it is. Smaller frame animals. It's wet out here, folks. We had snow this morning. It's gone. All the snow's gone. It's soft out here, and these cows are not leaving any prints at all. I mean, look at this. You know, that little cow there, she'll weigh about 950. Just nothing but round, robust, beautiful animal. Beautiful animal. Got a calf sucking on her. That was born, you know, probably in April. Just giving a tiny little bit of milk. So you don't have to wean the calf and get the calf up and feed it a bunch of goofy grain and pellets and all that crap. Any cow worth its weight in at all ought to be able to nurse a little bit on her calf, have the calf take a little bit of milk, and still keep her body weight up. And if she can't do that, you need to get rid of her. That cow's not interested in you making a living. She's just interested in eating your grass. But we've got, golly, we've still got a ton of grass on this farm before we ever get back to the Judy farm. The way we're going right now, it's going to be probably the end of February before we get back to Judy farm. We've got a bunch of grass waiting on us over there, so this is going to be a good winter. Knock on wood, if we don't get a 24-inch snow next week, and I'll be crying the blues, but that's why we got some hay. You know, we've got some hay bales right over there. We've got some up by the barn, or the old barn side up there. We try and keep a few bales around, so if you do get into those nasty situations, you don't have to go hauling it. You want it right there on the farm, where you can walk your animals to it and unroll some of that beautiful carbon on the land. But I just can't believe how much feed is in this stockpile. I mean, you all see it. It's up about a little past their ankles, but it's thick. It's thick. And the animals, they're opening it up and getting just the very best. Some of them still eating clover in here. There's still some green clover. Look, right there where I'm standing. I mean, them cows going to go after that. They're going to eat that clover. How'd you like to give your cows clover in the middle of January in Missouri? Well, if you learn to grow your stockpile correctly, you can do that. That's what we're going to be showing people how to do that at our grazing school in May. The grazing school is sold out in May, and there may be something coming up in September. We haven't decided yet, but I think there's going to be something on our website about it, and so kind of keep an eye on that. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. It's a beautiful January evening. We're enjoying watching our cows feed themselves, and we're not having to do anything. We just moved the wire, and they're doing all the rest of the work for us. So I'm going to sign off here. Everyone have a good one, and check out that website. There's going to be a posting on there coming up pretty soon on grass genetic heifers and steers. So don't miss out on that, because when they're gone, they're gone. And you all new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and that like. I'd appreciate it. And we'll see you all down the road.